Frontline World. Stories from a Small Planet.
The FBI would not engage in conduct that would be condemned by the international tribunals, by the International Committee of the Red Cross, violate international law, or do things that would, frankly, shock the conscience of any court. I don't care where it is. If you look back at what's happened over the last several years, and I'm referring now to some extent to Abu Ghraib, but most importantly to Guantanamo Bay, who are the people that have brought some of these so-called abuses to the forefront? Who are the ones who have gone on paper, whether it's in emails, electronic communications, and full-fledged reports complaining about some of these techniques? It has been the FBI. And there are some people that say it's illegal. There are others who would argue just the opposite. That there are legal ways of doing this, and that what we engaged in was frankly legal. And it wasn't in violation of international law. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just saying as a general rule, it's bad policy. We ought not to engage in that, period. So when we did this, it was the wrong choice in my view. There are some people within the United States government who believe earnestly that because we handled terrorism as a law enforcement problem, that 9/11 happened. That if we had engaged this type of robust, aggressive activity, 9/11 never would have happened. Well, I think that's foolish. Period. It's foolish. Well, there is a right way of doing rendition. It's to work with the host country, explain what the situation is, explain what your evidence is, and lay it out there in a sense of cooperation and transparency. And then work through the legal systems, internationally speaking, to get this subject rendered back to the United States if, in fact, there is an outstanding process and the person is going to be indicted. I don't think you just pick somebody up arbitrarily because you think they're a terrorist. You could make a mistake in the process and send them someplace and have them being tortured. I don't think we need to operate that way. We're better than that. It's just that simple. We've been very successful, frankly, at getting people to cooperate with the United States, even hardened terrorists, those people who have killed United States citizens, those people who swore allegiance to bin Laden. We've been successful at gaining their cooperation the old-fashioned way, and that is rapport building and not relying upon these extraordinary techniques that, frankly, I'm very much opposed to. In the end, it makes us more vulnerable. You're not getting a return on investment. You're setting yourself up for attack. You're setting yourself for revenge by Al-Qaeda and other Islamists. It's just that simple. If you want to engage in activity that you're blaming these people for, you need to step above it, rise above it, and stick to what you know to be your way of operating, which is transparency, treat people humanely, rapport build, all that stuff. That's what works, not this other stuff.
Extraordinary Rendition. Watch online or on air beginning November 6th.
To see the rest of this story, visit pbs.org/frontlineworld, or you can stream the story in full, along with many others in Frontline World's archive. Discuss the world and tell us what you think of our Stories from a Small Planet at pbs.org.